In one cabin in a remote forest, a family is tested by a group of strangers to prevent the apocalypse. In another cabin on a distant island, a group of snobs seek the perfect meal served by an illustrious chef. What do these stories have in common? Perhaps both groups left their worlds behind to indulge in the finer things in life, where ultimately both cabins demand sacrifice. I like to believe that each of these stories found groups of people who left their normal lives and found themselves in the Twilight Zone. Hey everyone, welcome back to Clubhouse Movies Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Rubalcaba, joined once again by Mr. Ale Panetta, and today, double feature special.
Yeah.
We will be reviewing The Menu, directed by Mark Malloy, and Knock at the Cabin, directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, we are. just wanted to keep it silent there because, man, one of these movies had crickets.
Well,
grasshoppers, I guess.
So here's the dealio.
Yeah. Man, is it a deal?
We always like to say that we compare movies to what M. Night Shyamalan should do.
Yeah, if you listen back, he's kind of the running joke into a few of these.
Yeah, and there have been some movies outright that kind of showed like progressions of great directors.
Yes.
And I looked up Mark Malloy, who directed The Menu, and he really hasn't put out, he's put out a lot of TVs and like Game of Thrones here and there.
Okay.
But not really a big director.
Like a feature, yeah.
Yeah, you don't see a trailer to a movie that says featuring Mark Malloy, directed by, he's just some dude, right? As far as I can tell, directed the movie.
He's like, I fell into this thing.
Meanwhile, we see the trailer to Knock at the Cabin, and we're completely underwhelmed.
Yeah.
And it looked familiar.
By this seasoned director.
Seasoned, illustrious director, M. Night Shyamalan. And this movie beat Avatar when it came out. And to be fair, Avatar had been out for almost 3 months at the time.
It needed that, not that Avatar needed that head start, but Knock at the Cabin needed Avatar to have that head start.
But to me, both of these movies kind of are like individual like horror suspense stories.
Yeah.
And then the two kind of go together, in which I would have compared them to movies in the years, and they just had both. I both happened to watch them both this week.
Yeah, they just happened to be the movies we chose for the week,
and we're gonna review them together. And we graded them together. So,
I don't know, man. There's a lot. There's a lot to digest.
Where do we start with this menu?
Let's start off with The Menu, and then pepper in. God, all the puns are
better
are
yet.
Stacked here.
I'm gonna start off with what I consider these movies to be.
Okay.
Episodes of the Twilight Zone.
They really are.
And I wanted to watch To Serve Man first, and I'll tell that whole quick story, which is aliens come to Earth and want to make us better, and we embrace it. We embrace the change.
Okay.
But they left behind like a book, right, written in an alien language. And they do change us. Like they're able to make deserts farmable. They're able to make put domes around countries so we can't attack anybody. Yeah. And then everyone says, you know what? They want us to go to their planet and we can live there and we can come back and forth or whatever. It'd be great. Yeah. And then they decide to do that. And then once they finally decode what the book is, guess what the book is?
I have no idea.
It's a real famous scene because the book is called To Serve Man. And they thought, oh, this is great. They're going to serve us. And once they finally decode it, they find out it's a cookbook. Oh, they're serving man.
So they're just showing them all these things so they can grow plump and pretty much be self-sufficient cattle.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And that's always been kind of like the Twilight Zone. There's always been like a reason and like a twist, a smart twist.
Yeah, a smart twist.
And this was like the 60s, when they did a lot of this. And there was like, I have The Beholder, where beauty isn't what it seems.
Yeah. I do remember that one now that we're talking about it.
Yeah. And then there's another one where a group of wealthy inheritance or people who are going to inherit a lot of money have to wear these masks for the night in order to get their inheritance now that the person has died.
Yeah.
And it turns out these horrible masks are what they were on the inside. So when they take the masks off, they're scarred now to look like the masks, what they were on the inside. Things like that.
That's good stuff.
And I'm going to try to motif these as time goes on. And I actually thought of a perfect, way to circle it back as it went on. Because like I said, like we started talking about the Twilight Zone and To Serve Man, people on the menu talk about people on the menu. In the menu.
Yeah. Yeah, they really do. It was like not even kidding. There's tongue in cheek here.
Well, okay. So in the menu,
Yeah.
a group of yuppies go. You know, they're food snobs,
Yeah.
actors. John
Actor-
Leguizamo
Yeah, John Leguizamo. They're, food definitely.
plays a John Leguizamo type.
Yeah, yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
He plays like an exuberant version of himself.
And food critics and some.
Yeah, people who talk a lot of smack about food but cannot prepare it themselves.
And also
Hold on to that little morsel.
And also some embezzling weasel accounting people.
Best.
Do you know who we work for?
The spice of life
Those people.
in capitalism.
And Nicholas Hoult and Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yes.
Anya Taylor-Joy is a frequent M. Night Shyamalan actress who has been in
I
both,
had no idea.
who has been in both Unbreakable. No, she's been in Split.
Yes.
And Glass.
Yes, and Glass. Correct.
As John McAvoy's villain's object of affection. And I use her a lot as a motif because she was also in Last Night in Soho, which I also put in this category
the thing
of
is,
suspense horror movies.
yeah, so I actually, when that happened, I looked it up and I'm like, so Edgar Wright directed that one. And I had no idea who directed The Menu, but, they were kind of parallels there.
Yes.
So I'm like, he had to have some, and I'm like, wow, he's not even involved whatsoever here.
He is not, and that's what...
Hopefully, inspirationally, he was.
Okay, and then the next big character in this is Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes plays
AKA
the chef.
Voldemort.
Yeah. Voldemort meets Gordon Ramsay in this movie.
Yeah, dude, great. Yeah, it was good.
And they go to this island where they run this restaurant. It's about $1,500 a plate. And they are going to be treated to not only a feast to eat, but a feast of storytelling.
Yes.
Where everything they eat is going to have a story.
Go on an adventure.
Yeah, adventure of the mind. But the deal is Anya Taylor-Joy was a substitute for Nicholas Hoult. Like, I don't know if he was seeing another girl or was she a hooker? There was some...
So he was seeing another girl.
Yes.
And then they broke up. So, because they don't serve single parties at this restaurant.
Yeah.
He hired her.
Yeah, so she was hired.
She was hired. And we don't find that out until a little later.
Yes, this is a working girl, and she does recognize another rich man at this place. But anyway, she is a substitute.
Yes.
So I'm going to actually call her the innocent of this movie.
So I'm going to... So here's the thing, too. Yeah, sorry. So I don't know how... you love cooking. I love cooking. The thing, when you go to a fancy restaurant, the last thing a fancy restaurant a restaurant owner or restaurateur wants to do is include a substitute. They don't want to substitute anything for their menu. And she is like the physical representation of a substitute.
Yeah.
And no wonder it drives them crazy. God.
Yeah, this movie was a lot better than I thought it was. I didn't think it would be a horror movie, which in itself is a twist.
Yes. You hearing that, M. Night? Hold on.
Yeah. And like I said, there are parallels also to this movie and Knock at the Cabin, and I say that there is an innocent in both stories.
Yes.
This innocent is Anya Taylor-Joy, who
Yes.
does not belong. Does not belong.
Outrightly.
And must make a choice.
Yes.
Must make a choice. But anyway.
I don't know why my brain went to, what's in the box?
What's in the box? But anyway, so all these characters are eating, and they're being fed like some weird nasty thing on the boat coming up.
It looks like foamed, like
foamed little foamed tapioca, like not boba, but like little tapioca.
Yeah, served on the half shell. So like they foamed oyster. Ooh, like I love oyster, but foamed oyster, gross.
Yeah. Maybe that's a euphemism for something.
Death.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, and then they go to this island, and all the staff there are like cultists. Like they almost kind of worship this chef.
Yes.
And they live there. The only person who doesn't live there is the chef, but everyone lives, and they grow their own food. And they
he still lives there. He just lives.
He has a home there,
away from there. Yeah, away from their compound.
But he's not like there like 24 hours like everybody.
Yeah,
he has his own place. But anyway, the chef tells these stories as Ray finds it. It almost was laid out like Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, yeah.
Where you look at it,
really was.
And I'm not sure exactly how he picks up on Anya Taylor-Joy originally, but she goes to the bathroom. She doesn't eat. the breadless bread
Yes.
meal.
That is what irked him, and that's what made him say, "You're not supposed to be here."
Yeah, and I did write down some of the, as opposed to my Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 structure, I wrote down the island is the first course. The second course, the breadless plate.
Yes, I love that presentation. The thing is, if you've seen any of the Netflix shows that do all this cooking, especially this one, Chef's Table, like they really do the cutscenes, presentations, everything just like that when they present the dishes, and the titles to these dishes are, according to the scene. And they're funny.
Yes.
They're pretty funny.
And Anya Taylor-Joy, being not a food snob, she smokes for one
Yeah.
thing. So she's always got smoke on the breath.
Destroying your palate.
And the other thing is she doesn't get the...
Yeah.
And Nicholas Hoult is like a huge
Yeah.
food
You remember
snob.
him from X-Men. He is the Beast.
And he was also in Warm Bodies, the zombie
Yeah.
romance.
Yeah. Also Warm Bodies.
Better
Yes.
than Twilight, by the way.
Yeah.
Way better than
Check
Twilight.
it out.
If you want to see your monster romance, Warm Bodies.
The way he weaves in historical allegories, I mean, the game is trying to guess what the overarching theme of the entire meal is going to be. You won't know till the end.
Wait, you like this?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
He's basically insulting you.
No, you don't get it. It's a concept.
He knew what it was, an Aerojet or whatever the fresh jet like cooking thing was, and he's like, oh my god, this is so good. They integrate this, and they got the foam and they got the thing here, and it's like, oh my god, this is the best.
Yeah, it's like,
breadless,
you understand this?
Breadless bread plates. It's so good,
Yeah.
and they just had like dips.
So it really was dips with a wooden spoon.
Yeah, and Anya Taylor-Joy, she being like more street smart, said the chef is screwing with you. He is screwing with you. I'm not going to eat this. This is a joke.
And that's when Ray Fiennes walks out.
Well, she goes to the bathroom.
Oh, right.
And she sees the first clue that something is amiss when she saw the wings. Like they're big white, someone holding like big white wings.
Yeah, walking him out across the yard or something.
While she was in the bathroom. And then Ray Fiennes, what's his name? What's the character's name?
Oh, Lord. I have it right here. Hold on. Ralph Fiennes played Chef Slowick.
Chef Slowick.
Yeah.
Ray Fiennes is Chef Slowick. Stumbles upon her in the bathroom and goes, "Who are you? Why are you here?" And she kept saying like the name, like, "Oh, I'm Stacy." I forgot the fake.
Yeah, she has a fake name.
He says, "Well, maybe you don't belong here, Stacy, or whatever your name is."
Oh, Margot.
Margot's his real name.
Oh, that's her real name. Okay.
Yeah, because remember, she is a substitute.
Yes,
she's
yes,
the innocent in this story.
True.
So they do this breadless bread plates. And she's like, "It didn't look good. You're screwing with us. Like, I don't get it."
Yeah.
So then she goes back in, and then the next course is the mess. Now, the mess is where this story turns from Hell's Kitchen to Hell's Cabin.
Yeah.
Because, there are cabins and there are, this place is like one big spooky place.
It's isolated,
So what happens is he's introduced to a new chef. I forget the name of him.
He's a sous chef.
He's a sous chef, and he wants to be Chef Voldemort.
Jeremy is talented. He's good. He's very good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call him Chef Voldemort.
Yeah, he really does.
But he can never make it. And he's never good enough. He did everything he did.
Yes.
Jeremy, do you like this life that you dreamed about?
No, Chef.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do? They put a big tarp down. They put in some like food around him, and puts a gun in his mouth and shoots himself.
Yes. And that's after Chef Slowick, Ralph Fiennes' character, like just
roasts him.
Yeah, the roast of a century. And then everybody thinks it's like theater,
part of the show.
Yeah, like the character Lillian, played by Janet McTeer. She's like, "It's theater, darling. It's theater."
Yeah, and I think the next one, next course is the palate cleanser. Oh no, I think we're missing one. Oh, the chicken tacos.
Chicken tacos. No, they were al pastor tacos.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there were tacos.
Yeah,
there were tacos.
That's pork for you guys that don't know.
Yeah. So the goofy thing about these tacos.
Yeah.
Oh, the tacos were first because
right.
The killing was like a fridge too far.
Yeah. Fridge.
The tacos on the actual taco shells were print ups or like laser etchings of past
or like just
sins.
Secrets. Yeah, just like secrets that these people are holding. And that's when you start piecing together like some fudgery is happening here?
Yeah, the yuppies realize like, oh wait, these are like accounts we embezzled.
Yeah. It's like, oh no.
Nicholas Hoult had like a picture of himself. I don't know what it means.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a douche. It's me. It's me taking a picture of my food. Oh, and that's the thing too. They didn't want them to use their cell phones to take photos of things. So it's literally a photo of him taking a photo of the dish that just happened.
Yes, and so these people are perturbed, and then after that, that's when the guy kills himself on the plate. So then this is when the elderly couple, like they had been dining there for years.
Yeah,
and the old man's like, I'm going to leave. I'm going to get help. I'm going to figure it out. And they subdue him and chop his ring finger off.
His ring finger, because he wouldn't choose himself.
Yeah, and they politely give it back to the wife.
And the ring, they give her back the ring.
The ring finger and the ring. So that was fun. And then there's still people like, it's still the show, like the critics, like, they're doing this for us.
Yeah, so it's what is it? It's Janet McTeer as Lillian and Paul Adelstein as Ted. They're both the critics. Rather, Lillian is the critic and Ted is just her yes man.
Yeah,
her enabler.
And then I think after that, they just do a regular palate cleanser. Because I don't think anything horrific happens.
Yeah, like an actual palate cleanser.
But everyone's like freaking out.
So, and the crazy thing is, so while all of this is happening, people are dying, limbs are being chopped off and whatnot, or digits here. Tyler is totally immersed into his plates. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, he's such a snob about this. He actually tells Margot, Anya Taylor-Joy's character, like to stop being such a little brat. While after someone just got shot and someone just had their finger taken off, he is like, you're not going to eat that? Oh, let me take that. He is totally greed.
Yeah. So everyone is in a different layer of douchebaggery.
Yeah.
In this,
like unfazed douchebaggery.
Yeah. But they are phased. Like they're getting worse and worse as time goes on.
Not Tyler. God, just kidding.
And then the next
sociopath.
The next of course is Man's Folly. Which is a weird one. Which is where we really get into like the hunt of this. It reminds me of the Most Dangerous Game kind of thing going on here, where all the men have to run out and all the chefs have to go and like catch them.
Yeah,
and this happened because Chef Voldemort hit on his female sous chef.
Yeah.
Multiple times, and this shouldn't happen.
So he's telling you exactly what happens, and then he calls her over. Mm-hmm. As he's speaking about this, like him being this freaking misogynist, she gets these like little tiny golden shears, and you think she sticks them right in the groin. She actually sticks them right in the thigh. Yeah. Still, it's just like she just jabs it in there, and he's like, "Thank you."
Yeah, this is a motif that has been. Was it scissors?
Yeah, it was scissors.
Because this isn't the first stabbing of scissors in this movie.
No,
because the tacos at the beginning were stabbed with scissors
with the golden shears,
and Chef Voldemort's mom was there because he had to defend his mom when he was a kid from an abusive dad and stabbed him.
Oh man, we totally glossed over that memory. God.
Yeah.
Oh right. So the reason the tortillas had these little instances etched into them because they were memories, and he's like, I hope you have memories of what you've eaten before.
and then he's called Anya Taylor-Joy to meanwhile, while the men are being hunted, all the women just hang out with that other girl.
Yeah, with the chef that just stabbed,
And she's like, this whole thing was my idea. We're all going to die tonight.
And everybody's like, well, drink up, whatever. Clink, clink.
Yeah. So that's fun. And then Chef Voldemort talks to Anya Taylor-Joy again. He's like, you're either with us or you're against us, or you're either the one who takes the people being served or you're the server. Which one are you? We need to make a choice because you're not even supposed to be here, because that's when he figured out that she's a substitute.
Yes. And she said he gives her 15 minutes.
15 minutes
after they've all and during that time, everybody's been captured by now. And all the men have been captured, and the last one to be captured is
John Leguizamo.
No, it's Ted, the enabler to Lillian.
Oh,
so he's captured in the chicken coop, and they open it up and they give him this little like fancy egg dessert. They're like, since you were the last one, sir, here you go. And it's this sidebar window that just opens up. It's the funniest thing.
It's funny because he didn't even want to run.
Yeah,
because he's like, and you, Ted.
Yeah, he takes off. Oh, no, it was Tyler. Tyler didn't want to run.
Yeah,
Ted took off.
Who was Ted? Oh, yeah.
Tyler.
All of these characters. This is a very well-rounded movie.
Yeah,
and it layers and it comes back and forth.
It's good. It's worth a rewatch. You know,
I was actually kind of watching it just again before like this. We talked about it. I'm like, this is a good movie. I'm going to watch it again tonight.
Yeah, it's good, man.
Because you catch a lot of little things in it, and a lot of the performances and all the characters are pretty fleshed out, and they all kind of belong in this episode of the Twilight Zone, where the people are the menu.
Crazy.
Where the actions are the menu, and more is going on than there really should be.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah. But I like the twist here, which is how Anya Taylor-Joy was able to spin the tables, because he had her go and get like the ice or something.
It was a vase.
He had her go and get a vase. He's like, why don't you become part of the team?
Yeah,
and
so
we'll help you.
Yeah, so because she hadn't selected actually what she wanted to be. She didn't know if she wanted to be a server or the people being served. So he chose for her. And then he goes like, he tells her, he's like, Margot, can you please be a dear and go grab me the vase that Elsa forgot?
Yeah, Elsa is like the maitre d'. She looked really perturbed when she said that. But so when Anya Taylor-Joy went into like his quarters, his like cabin, there were a bunch of what do you call it, Michelin star chef, and like break out this and funded by this and funded by that. By the way, we totally forgot like he was like financed by like that rich guy.
Oh right,
who they strung up with the wings,
with the angel wings.
So
yeah, those angel wings were in an odd way. Chekhov's gun. And
then do you want to talk about real Chekhov's gun? Was a picture of a young chef.
So I was actually
Chef
going
Slowick,
to get to that.
A young Chef Slowick holding a hamburger.
Not just a hamburger, a cheeseburger. A classic, delicious cheeseburger.
And looking happy as a clam.
Yeah.
Because you see the whole movie is very stoic.
Yeah,
very sad about the craft.
Yeah.
So Elsa confronts Anya Taylor-Joy's Margot and says like, you're not going to replace me.
Yeah, he's like, he didn't even tell me about the vase.
Yeah,
what's in the vase?
And then she's able to kill her. Did she kill her with scissors too?
She killed her with a looked like a bread knife.
Oh yeah, okay. Those are dangerous, dude.
Those are, man. Those things are long and serrated.
I had an old school bread knife that actually had like shanks in the front of it too.
Yeah, man. I
was up with that.
They don't make those anymore.
They're illegal now.
Really?
Yeah, it's like super murder.
Dude, those are like what is those? Those are like the wood bug knives now.
Yeah, I got to look it up.
Yeah, those are crazy.
And I'm not quite sure exactly where this happened in the story, but Nicholas Holt's character was such a snob that he thought like he was like great, right?
Yeah, so I believe that actually happens right after. So that whole spat between Elsa and Margot is happening. You know, obviously Margot
definitely after Man's Folly.
Yeah, so she kills Elsa, like throat slashed and everything.
Yeah,
and then she gets, she's doing her investigative work and finds that picture of Slowick. So now she gets back, and when she gets back, that's when we find Taylor. Or Taylor, just same name, whatever. So we find Tyler like gorging himself on the leftovers because he's like, what did the women get to have? He's in there just grabbing stuff at the table, which is super rude, by the way. And then that's when Chef Slowick pulls him aside and he asks him if he wants to.
Do you want to cook
in his kitchen?
But he also found out, like the twist here was that he knew that they were all going to be murdered that night.
Yeah. Yes.
They have been corresponding with each other for the past like few months or whatever.
Yeah.
And he was going to bring a girlfriend who was equally snooty to this party. And she didn't. They broke up at the last minute.
Yes. And he chose to bring Margot
as a sacrifice.
Yeah. Which apparently is not cool with a murderer.
As a sacrifice.
The sacrificial lamb to the slaughter.
Yes.
Whoa.
Parallels. Anyway,
it's like an onion.
From one movie to the next, we will talk about sacrifices and proper choices to be made.
Yes.
But anyway, he cooks this lamb that was not part of the story, but he's like, so you sure you don't want to use the fast jet? He's like, no, I will make this. And then like it's pretty awesome. He's like eating, and it looked undercooked.
Well, he gave him his chef's coat, and if you guys can see us on YouTube, Marcus is wearing a similar coat, just with a bit sleeves are a little longer.
Oh yeah.
But and then Chef Slowick actually goes over and writes Tyler's name in Sharpie on his breast. Just to give him that little seal of approval right there. Looks like a toddler wrote it. Yeah. And then he sends him into the kitchen and he says, "What would you like? We have everything." He's like, and then he just gives him whatever he wants to make.
Yeah, so he makes a lamb leg, a lamb hock or whatever.
So lamb shanks
Lamb shank.
on what was it? It was lamb shanks on a bed, like on a medley of, I think it was like shoots or something.
Yeah.
With scallions or whatever.
And he makes it, and then like it was
It is so gross.
pretty good acting though.
Yeah.
From Ralph Fiennes on this one, because he's like, and he was like eating, and then he puts it in his mouth. And
Wow. Wow. It's actually quite bad.
Yeah.
it's pretty bad. And I didn't catch this like one part, but like later on, like when he whispered in his ear something, then he walked in the other room. He pretty much just said, "Go kill yourself."
Yeah, he did. He
like,
really told him to go kill himself.
Because we see him hanging like later on in the movie.
Or rather, we don't see him. We see him through Margot's eyes.
Well, we do see like legs hanging, don't we?
No, but it's because Margot is looking in the room and we see him because of that.
Okay.
So that's how the scene is shifted.
So, using this knowledge
Yes.
that Margot has acquired in the in the other cabin,
Yeah.
she becomes a proper customer and says, "Chef, I want to take it back. I'm not happy with my meal." And like it broke his brain.
Yeah.
And you can see him like with his brain break.
She wasn't full.
She wasn't full.
And that's the thing. He said he made this menu so that everyone would be appropriately satisfied. And she was unsatisfied.
Oh man, I tell you what though.
This freaking movie, man. Damn
movie.
it. So good.
He goes, What would make you satisfied? How about a good old fashioned cheeseburger? No what do you call it? Dissected. No nothing no foam.
Just a classic.
I don't think you can.
I'll make you feel as if you're eating the first cheeseburger you ever ate. The cheap one your parents could barely afford.
Show me.
Classic cheeseburger with American cheese.
Yeah, and he's like, "What kind of fries?" And he's like, "Would you like them crinkle cut or julienne?"
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized it was crinkle cut.
Yeah.
Oh, the good stuff.
Oh my
Classic.
God. He made like a really good looking burger.
Dude, when he put that burger together, the juices.
It seriously
just,
was like a triple burger.
It was
triple cheeseburger. It was like
so good.
Oh my God. I'm going to go to freaking burger.
Yeah, I'm going to get some In-N-Out after that.
Oh man, I think I ate In-N-Out after I saw this movie.
Yeah. I think I did too. I had it the next day.
Yeah.
So good.
And she's like, I ate with my eyes. I ate too much. I would like to take it to go.
Yeah.
She's like, it's very delicious, but I will take it to go.
Yeah. And that just broke his brain too. He's like, wait a minute.
They packed it to go. And then she walked away, and everyone just kind of like looked at her because they almost had like one chance to escape because she did call for a radio, and there was like a fake Coast Guard guy who came. A lot happens in this movie.
There's a lot. We don't want to
see
just
this movie.
Yeah, we're leading this on because we want you to watch this movie. But so that happens. And the thing is, it's not that she was being a douche about it. It's like
she was being a proper customer.
She was being a proper customer and just wanted her chef to give her something that would satisfy her desire.
Yes,
which is the ultimate desire of a chef.
Just a regular cheeseburger, and he was probably happy as a clam when he cooked.
Yeah,
his final true meal.
Yeah,
it probably was his first, which was a regular cheeseburger. Man, but anyway, she escapes on the boat while everyone waits for the final course.
Yep,
and you see her escape, and then everyone. S'mores.
Yeah.
So they dress everyone up in marshmallow.
Yeah, they put a chocolate cast hat on them. They put like marshmallow
Ray
around
Fiennes,
their neck.
He told a story for everything. He goes, "Oh, what a disgusting abomination!
Yeah,
lousy American chocolate with puffed sugar. And graham crackers. What are graham crackers even made of?"
Yeah, he described what it was. So it was just like it was very in depth.
The s'more. The most offensive assault on the human palate ever contrived.
And then they set the place on fire. Yeah. And everyone dies, leaving.
And then they present it as chef's table. They're like s'mores with edit labels with every guest present or something like that.
Yeah, every guest present. Rest in peace.
Yeah. It was,
and the movie ended with Anya Taylor-Joy eating her hamburger on the boat while she escaped.
Like taking a bite and looking like everybody wants a bite of every cheeseburger ever.
Yes, and that's how this movie ended. And you can... I like to imagine like Rod Serling appears like somewhere like, submitting for your approval. A group of guests came in for the final menu from an illustrious chef, but they ended up like being part of the menu themselves.
Ooh, not only was it their last meal, but it was also his.
Yes.
Welcome to
the Twilight Zone.
Nice.
And then on the flippity floppity floop on the other side, we see a family.
Yeah.
A family in the wilderness at another cabin, another quiet place.
Yes.
If you will.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yeah. Another movie that's better than this one.
Yeah. Definitely better.
So in this movie, okay, the thing about Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin, everything is so orchestrated.
Yeah.
Everything is so...
And it feels, the thing with M. Night movies is you feel like when you're watching them, you have to pay attention to whatever is being featured in the movie. Like when the camera does its B pans, you're like, why are they panning over these wooden buoys? Why are they panning over this? Why are they panning over that?
And that's another thing is...
it's like you have to build the layer.
Yeah, and he just... I feel like he just got a film school like textbook.
Yeah.
And like, I'll just do that. Because like there was a lot of like Dave Bautista.
Just the biggest man ever to show up on a camera.
But like you can't see it. Maybe I'll put a
Yeah, like they like
But-
what
but-
were you
but it-
filming with a 50 millimeter
he
lens?
he was using his rule of thirds.
Yeah.
Like perfectly. And Dave, I don't know, maybe I should do like the rest of this.
He was also wearing a white shirt.
Okay, so
Oh god. This part of the review does not deserve my
here,
blazer.
Here, who am I? Dave Bautista. No, you got to wear the blazer because it's still an episode of the Twilight Zone.
Oh man,
not a
there we
good
go.
one.
Yeah, there we go.
Your Rod Serling blazer.
My Rod Serling. Welcome to the Twilight Zone.
Just him smoking his cigarette, by the way.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he always had a cigarette.
There
in
we
his
go.
hand.
Smoking.
Looking cool, by the way.
Yeah. This.
By the
freaking
way,
movie-
they got rid of the Twilight Zone for a new modern hippity hoppity thing at Disneyland.
Yeah, it was. What is that?
Guardians of the Galaxy ride.
Which is, man, like I must be aging or something because I tried going on that and I enjoy it, but I can't do it more than once because the way it just goes up and down, it feels like it's more violent. Is what I'm saying.
It's not that fun. I like the Twilight Zone better because it's actually scary.
Yeah,
They actually made it
way
kinda
better in
creepy.
Walt Disney World too. It's way more fun.
Okay, but anyway,
Yeah. Back to the show.
M. Night Shyamalan telegraphs everything in the movie.
Yeah, like-
and you almost like know how it's going to end. You know where the beats are. You know where the twists are.
Immediately.
And there's absolutely no reason to watch it again.
I should have walked out less than halfway through.
Yeah, but we had to put up with it.
For you guys.
For you guys. So Wen is the innocent in this movie.
Yes.
And she is a little adopted girl.
Yeah.
Little adopted Asian girl who has a cleft lip.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I bring it up because M. Night Shyamalan wanted us to know about it.
Yeah.
That and other character traits
Yeah.
throughout the movie that have nothing to do with the rest of the movie.
Nothing. These were less than filler. This movie could have been 45 minutes long.
It could have been 30 minutes long. it could have
definitely
been
could have
an
been-
actual episode. It could have been
It could
better.
have been
There was
a-
an episode of the Twilight Zone.
They're better, like, dude, the episodes of Last of Us are better than this entire movie was.
So she's playing by herself. More bad parents.
Yeah.
Playing by
In
herself.
the woods.
In the woods can be eaten by anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything. I've seen crows if you're near
Crows are huge in the woods.
I've been walked by a crow's nest and not known it, or like bird's nest.
Yeah.
And been attacked by birds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never had that.
It's happened a few times. in my life.
Oof. Stay away from birds.
Yeah, birds, man. But
Probably another M. Night movie that'll happen.
oh man, remake
The
that
birds.
one. Watch out, Hitchcock! Everyone's coming! No. Yeah. Okay. Oh, and by the way, this scene immediately took me back to another opening to a better movie.
Which one?
So she's by herself, a little girl in the wilderness. Dave Bautista comes and starts talking to her and saying like, "I'm your friend.
Yeah.
Everything's great." Then other people start appearing. This is the exact same beginning to Dr. Sleep.
Oh, it is. It totally is.
Much better movie. See Dr. Sleep, by the way.
Yes. Watch it.
If anything,
Enjoy it.
masterpiece. And then
That's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He wants to talk. He wants to talk to the dad. And he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm going to be your friend." Oh, those people aren't my friends. They're just people I work with. And this
Yeah.
this Dave Bautista, exploding from his shirt.
Yeah, like a giant man. Like her body is the size of one of his arms.
I know, one of his
Maybe.
pinkies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she runs in and talks to her dads. So it's a gay couple.
Yeah.
Which factors into the story. Kind
Yeah.
of. Kind of. I don't even know.
I don't even know.
That's the thing about this movie.
There's a lot of like grabs, but a lot of misses.
Yeah.
You know,
and
they're reaching, but they're not grabbing.
And then he's telling them that like, yeah, there's a bunch of weirdos outside and they're trying to like be our friend and like,
Yeah.
but like block the place up. And then they knock at the cabin, you know,
Yeah.
knock, like the movie says.
Yeah.
And they eventually force their way in.
Yeah.
And the main one of the guys, Eric, played by Jonathan Groff from The Matrix Resurrections. He was Mr. Smith.
Yeah, and he's also in
Hamilton?
The play Hamilton.
Yeah.
What was it, King Louis? Whatever.
I don't know. But he slips and breaks he has a concussion.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, to me was a complete, what do you call a sucker punch to the story?
Yeah.
And I'll explain why as time goes on. I think this movie would have been better if he didn't have a concussion.
Yes.
It would have been a lot better if he didn't
Yeah.
have a concussion.
It would have had more weight
Because
what he was doing.
It cheapened the movie.
Yes.
To say that this person had a concussion.
And the thing is, it just made it so that you would, because one of the characters that comes in is a nurse. And you're like, oh, of course. There's a
yeah.
nurse.
So
There's a
Dave
nurse.
Bautista, as we say, he's a big jacked man.
Yeah.
Right. We also see, someone who would hang out with Harry Potter, but having a really bad American accent.
Yeah. We have Rupert Grint playing Redmond.
Yeah. Who was a social worker. No, he was like a,
I don't know.
a construction worker or
Yeah,
something.
something probably worked for the gas. I think he said gas company.
Yeah. He was the one you called when the gas wasn't working or something.
Yeah.
And then a woman, Adrian.
Yeah. Played by, woman Adrian. Then we have also Sabrina.
Adrian was a chef too, right?
She was a line cook.
Line cook. See?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh,
Parallel there.
making the greasy Americana classics.
Yeah. And the last
Was Sabrina.
Sabrina, who
Yeah.
was a nurse.
Yes.
Who treated Eric's wound.
Yep.
Well, anyway, they tie them up. They tell them the apocalypse is fast approaching. And the only way for them to
Save the world.
Is to have to kill one of the members of their family.
But that sacrifice has to willingly accept death.
Yeah. Yeah. And they let them know that this is not
Not
this
a
is
cult.
This is not a homophobic thing. We didn't
Yeah.
know you're a same-sex couple, okay? And then they're absolutely not. And I'll tell you right off the bat, absolutely no one would have bought this.
No.
Absolutely no one would have bought this.
No one.
And even as, let's say, more evidence presented itself, I would just be shouting, evidence! Evidence!
Heresy.
Evidence! And so these people, as we'll find out, met on a message board, like a chat room.
Yep.
And then I'll just kind of go into some of the cruxes of them. Dave Bautista was a coach.
Yep.
All right. We knew the girl was a line cook and the other girl's a nurse.
Yeah.
And then I can't even remember his Harry Potter name.
Rupert Grint. Redmond.
Redmond worked for the gas company.
Yeah.
They all met on a message board because they had dreams. They had like
Yeah.
similar
They shared
dreams.
same visions.
Shared same visions or whatever. And they all had like crazy weapons with them.
Yeah.
which
They were instructed to make these weapons.
instructed to make these weapons. Now, apparently, which is not explained, the rules. That's the thing. They didn't explain the rules.
There were no freaking rules by any of this.
The only rule was that if they say no, a certain quarter of the population will die.
Like I said, you had to fill in the gaps a lot of the time. You had to layer this movie yourself.
And the movie, it was like, it's like, going back to like the cook motif.
Yeah.
It's like we had to make food out of something that we didn't have any ingredients for.
Yeah, it was like a really bad
We were making
Korean
a really bad
barbecue.
shit sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what we were making.
You
with
have
Knock It
2
Together.
buns. Grab the air.
So they say every time you ask, a certain population of the world will die.
Yeah.
Right. So they ask and they say, will you kill one of the members of your family or will you accept it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
In my brain, I'm like, no.
And the thing is, it's not that they came out outright and just said no. It was these like drawn out.
Yeah.
Like it's like you can just go no.
Yeah. So Redmond.
They already said they weren't going to kill you.
Redmond is terrified now. He's like,
Yeah.
oh no. He's like crying. He's like, you look at me. He's like, yeah. Okay, well, I wouldn't look at this asshole either.
Yeah.
I wouldn't care that this asshole's putting a freaking like hood over his head.
Yeah.
I like
this white like nylon sock.
Yeah, he looks like one of the strangers or something.
He's like, humanity has been judged for your dissidence.
Yeah, by the way, who judged humanity? Who said it judged humanity? Okay, and then Dave Bautista and the other three proceed to murder this person.
Yeah, like over the top of the head with these specifically made weapons of murder.
And then
obviously
in my head, I'm like, well, they just say no 3 more times and they're done.
Yeah.
And that's it. But anyway, then they turn on the news.
Yes.
And it clearly was something that was pre-recorded.
Yeah.
And they acknowledged it, like the family acknowledges that this was pre-recorded, but a giant tsunami just attacked islands or whatever.
Yeah. Like it was caused by an earthquake, hit the entire West Coast.
Yada, yada, yada. Bunch
Oregon.
Of people died.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh no. And then like
Hodor.
Dave Bautista and like the other 3 characters are seriously like, oh no, they've been judged. Like, and then like the other dude, the other husband,
was Eric and Andrew.
Andrew was like, dude, that happened 4 hours ago. Like, we just made the decision.
They keep checking their damn watches.
They know they did this. And by the way,
Bautista keeps looking at his hand.
I know. with his Grand Canyon head. Head.
Holy cow, man! Ravines.
I know.
His head's got muscles.
Here's the thing, though. Like they knew that at first. I thought, oh, this movie has to take place in like the 90s or something.
Yeah,
but they had smartphones. Smartphones existed.
Yeah, so
flat TVs existed.
At least 2007.
But they had no. They had no reception.
Yeah,
and the TVs worked. Here's the dealio: none of my TVs in this house have like actual cable connection. And in most places they don't these days.
No, not at all.
So unless you're going to watch the news on Netflix, which is I'll tell you what, a red alert.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot later than you anticipated. And the thing is, I mean, there are ways to do it, but it's a cabin in the woods. Like, what are they going to do? Like, there is satellite.
This is a bad plan.
Yeah,
this is not a great plan.
And I've used satellite TV like in the woods. It's horrible.
Yeah. So these people are trying to convince these other people to kill themselves by killing themselves, and then the world went otherwise. And they're not doing a very good job of, for a coach, Dave Bautista, you're not selling
his team never wins.
Your team never wins.
Yeah, they don't even make it top 3. He's like, but the smile of those kids, man, they make my muscles move.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But anyway,
dude is the buffest Santa out there.
Bite your head off, man.
He's gonna be the next violent Santa, whatever the hell it is. Violent Night.
Yeah, he. So the little girl escapes and they catch her. Okay.
Yeah. Of course.
But this is where I say the concussion was a cop out because Eric says, in the light, I saw a figure. I saw someone.
The sun is setting over the lake, man.
And this is still like the first quarter of the movie.
Yes.
We already know how it's going to end now.
Yeah. Like, for sure.
We already know who the plant is. Like, it's Eric. Oh,
the moment those words left his lips, you're like, done. I'm done. That's it. It's done.
And then we see some flashback that maybe Rupert Graves Redmond was a bigot.
Yes.
And he beat up
Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew at some point, and that caused Andrew to buy a gun.
Yeah.
That he had.
Go eye the tiger on punching bags and stuff.
Yeah, right?
There was a whole cutscene of this.
Yeah, looking tough.
Yeah. It's like, good job fighting an inanimate object, buddy.
Like Jennifer Lopez in Enough. She had enough.
Oh, that was good. That was good. Enough, I tell you. Oh, man.
Boy.
Her motives were pretty justified.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I'm pretty sure Dave Bautista could have ate that gun.
Yeah. He was like, this is my iron supplement for the day.
I eat these for breakfast. This just opens like a big jar of guns.
Oh, God. It's little 25s. He's like, these are snacks. Oh, gosh. This is crazy. This is ridiculous. Dave Bautista just like, listen, Dave, we get it. You want to be an actor and all that stuff. He's an actor.
I like Dave Bautista.
No, I have nothing against the guy, but dude, you are so large. You are large. Every time you show up on screen, even when you go on Blade Runner and try not to take over the scene, you take over the scene even after you've lost weight because you are a giant man.
I know. He just looks like a dump truck in the middle.
Yeah, it's like, who's backing it up in there? Beep, beep. That is Dave Bautista.
Batista. But anyway, we like you. And then there's no, if anything, there's no knock on like any of the characters in this movie.
No, the characters did their job.
The actors did their job. They got their paycheck and they went home.
Redmond
M. Night
died.
Shyamalan. Watch them another movie.
Do your job, M. Night.
Watch
Don't ruin these people's careers.
I know, right? Don't ruin my $30 watching this movie.
Oh God, so much money.
So here's the dealio. So the next girl to die is the nurse girl.
Yeah.
So they say no, she gets killed. Like kind of.
Well, yeah. So theirs was so like during this entire time, don't just assume that Andrew and Eric are just sitting there because they are tied up. Obviously,
yeah.
They're finagling their way out of these ropes that they're being held by in their chairs. So Andrew manages to get out while Eric falls over and causes a scene. And these characters totally act like NPCs. And they're like, wow, Sabrina literally just has her hands to her side and just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? As Andrew sneaks out. Sneaks out. Now, if you've walked on any hardwood floors anywhere, there's no sneaking out. Yeah, it's like... Yeah, so he gets out and he's wearing hiking boots. Like, come on, those things are gonna make all the noise.
Yeah.
So then he gets to his car because he has a gun in there.
Yeah, the gun he got because the other guy was.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
No, so he gets in there and he's trying to get in the key, the classic horror. I can't get my keys in the hall. Keys in the hall.
Keys in the gun. Keys in the gun. Gun in the magazine. Gun in the magazine.
So as soon as he shows up to the door and he's finagling with his keys, he gets banged in the knee by the nurse.
Yeah.
Blows his knee out. And then I don't know what happens. I think he just gets her weapon away from her. He gets all the way back and has this biometric reader. He's trying to get in there. He finally gets in there.
Safe.
Yeah.
The portable gun safe.
And as he's reaching in, he's messing with the gun safe. Sabrina is stabbing him in the side, like right in the side, and he gets it and misses. Shoots and misses. And the thing is, they tried to make the scene look as if he missed on purpose. It's like, no, dude, you missed.
Yeah, it was a bad.
Yeah, so... Yeah, and then she runs away going, oh, God! And then,
he's got a gun!
Yeah, he's got a gun!
Yeah.
And then now we're inside, and, he's pointing the gun at Dave Bautista's wall of a man. Like, you can't miss that.
Yeah, I think they already killed the other girl who had I have a son.
All right.
I have a son. And he'll die.
He will be a silhouette of a man.
And then there's another thing that I hate about this movie.
Okay,
they had like fake news NN. Right?
Yeah.
At the beginning, right? They're like, oh, no, fake news. And then I'm thinking, okay, fake news. And then the next one was BBC.
Yeah.
Was real news.
Yes.
Right? And I'm thinking like, and they're talking about a virus. A virus took it. And they're like, we knew about this virus a month ago. Like,
yeah.
What the hell, man?
And now it's even more of a virus. And it's only attacking specific areas. Great Britain and America.
Yeah,
That's it. It's not attacking anywhere else.
I don't know. Like, it was just a bad sale.
Yeah.
But all the time, Eric is like, I think I saw like a figure in the light.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, come on. Like, so you just know, like, Eric's going to die.
And while that's happening, Sabrina runs in to try to take the gun away from Andrew, and he just unloads in her and kills her. Or we think she's dead. And then Dave Bautista goes over to her, puts a smock on her head or whatever, or whatever he puts on her head or sock.
Yeah.
And he's like, humanity has been judged.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
And then just attacks her.
Oh, airplanes start falling.
Yes, airplanes.
And by the way,
airplanes in night sky.
So this is the only real like possible like apocalypse like proof that I've seen is airplanes falling and maybe like
EMPs, man.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening. Are happening kind of like in the background.
Yeah.
But here's the dealio. Like as far as I could tell, like if I were like, one of these like logical people, I would have been like, you do realize that you're the ones dying and causing this. Stop killing yourselves.
Yeah, I'm like,
Stop killing yourself.
Yeah,
who told you to kill yourself?
Yeah, because every time you die, things happen.
Yeah.
At least in this crazy fanatical
there's just
context,
enough evidence to the contrary.
Yeah,
that this doesn't need to happen.
M. Night is going to listen to this and be like, "Damn it! Oh God, these guys were right."
You ever see that jizz in your pants? And one of the things is like, when I saw the end of Sixth Sense and Bruce Willis was dead, jizzed in my pants.
Oh, dude, that is as old as Chocolate Rain.
But it's awesome because they just have the same.
Oh, God, it was the worst. Oh, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
If anything, M. Night Shyamalan's career was good because that was a good laugh.
Yeah, it was a good laugh.
Like the movie twisted anyway.
Creamsicles.
Just ruin his underwear.
So much has happened in this movie.
Okay, so Dave Bautista is like the last one, right?
Yeah.
And he shoots himself with the gun.
No. So the way this scene unfolds, and I actually just ran through it in my head. So Andrew is, holding him at gunpoint now and locks him in the bathroom. And he's like, all right, don't you go anywhere.
Oh, that's the worst bathroom search I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. So, and you hear, as soon as he goes in there, you hear window crashing and you're like, duh. And then you see the window and you're like, there's no way this giant man made it through a freaking porthole.
He can barely make it through the door himself. Like the regular door.
I know, you have to like duck and crouch.
But do a barrel roll.
He's like attack.
Like pushing circle in Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Double jump. Yeah. She could double jump for some reason. It's weird. She could long jump.
Triangle, square, circle, circle.
So
remember locking your butler in the refrigerator?
Dude, it was so stupid. So dumb. That's what they did. Like, he was still in the refrigerator.
Yeah.
So obviously they open the door. They're like, oh man, that window. And you're like, they're assuming like, oh, you got out of there, but the shower curtain is drawn, and what's his face? Andrew shoots at it, and he's like, oh, nothing's falling. It's like, yeah, whatever bullet's gonna hit Dave Bautista, you think it's gonna do anything?
Yeah, it probably bounced off him. He probably ate it.
Yeah, he's like, snacks.
Okay, so Dave Bautista was in there. They struggle. He gets the gun.
Yeah.
Then he's like, "Oh, are you gonna?" He just ask him the question again.
Yeah,
like, you're gonna kill someone in your family, and then he goes, "Oh no, I'm not." So he goes, "Okay, then I'll go outside and do it in the cool air."
Yeah, sits on his rocking chair
and shoots himself. And
no, he slices his freaking throat with a giant hunting knife.
That's right. He slices. Yeah, and it just kind of rains blood on his chest for a while.
Yeah. And the gun falls to the ground, and then Andrew goes in there and snatches it like he just saved the world.
Okay, so this is dumb because before Dave Bautista died, I think he says like, "Oh, did he say there was time, or did Eric say that there was time?"
He's like, "You have minutes.
Have minutes after."
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's the guy from Star Trek? The guy, the Chekhov. You have the gun. He's like, minutes.
Oh yeah, and Antoine Yelchin.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, bud. Man,
died young.
Oof.
Oh yeah, but anyway, Eric is like, yeah, I did see that figure in the thing.
Yeah,
and look, there were 4 of them.
They're the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
And everyone sitting there is like,
yeah. and then if he just stopped there, I'd have been like, you know what I mean? Like, seriously, I guess. But then he's like, the coach, horseman 1.
Yeah.
The healer, horseman 2.
Yeah.
The brutes, horseman 3. Oh no! And then the mom, horseman 4. What?
I was just like,
And I'm pretty sure, and I wrote it down, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, by the way, are. I never done it somewhere. Okay, they actually are conquest. Mm-hmm. Sounds pretty apocalyptic.
Yeah.
War, pretty apocalyptic. Famine, pretty apocalyptic. Death, pretty apocalyptic.
Nothing that these are.
Nothing that a coach, a soccer coach.
Yeah, the death of these kids and their ability to do sports.
A Harry Potter has been.
Yeah,
and I don't know what the line cook.
Yeah.
What? He's like, yeah, you kill me, and that'll end this and then he shoots.
Yeah, so he tells him, I see it. This is Eric talking to Andrew. Andrew's like, no, I'm not going to shoot you. He's like, and then Eric's like, I see a future of you with our daughter. You're leaving her apartment.
But he had a concussion this whole time.
Yeah.
So it's the concussion talking.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's the concussion talking.
And then he shoots him.
And then they go to Denny's.
Yeah.
And then apparently all the airplanes stop falling out of the sky.
Yeah, they're like, we've had many landings secured.
Yeah.
Since minutes ago. Minutes.
And they're like, you think we did? Yeah, I think we did do it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm pretty sure, what's his name? Andrew is going to jail.
Dude, yeah. I was like, he definitely killed someone, but then it all got burnt down.
Yeah, the cabin burnt down at the end. Okay.
But just like
the end of another movie we're talking about.
Oh. There we go.
Okay. So they prevented the apocalypse.
Yes.
And into the movie.
And
seriously,
that's it.
That's it.
The movie. They take off in a Silverado.
They drive off into the sunset after Dave Bautista's and his giant guns burned to death with his. Okay, so Just kind of
Yeah.
starting off some of the analysis as for all you people who fell asleep,
Yeah.
wake up.
Grab a brush and pull it on, make up.
As you know, we just went the entire plot of the menu and Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Okay. So. Yeah. Both movies demanded sacrifices from their audiences. Both movies had flashbacks. Both movies had an innocent.
Yes.
And both movies had bizarro like connections to like each other in the past.
Yeah, they were weird, man.
But one movie I'm going to watch again.
Yeah.
And one movie was unique. And
one movie appetizes me. One takes away my appetite.
yeah. And
the thing is, both had death.
Some
more graphic than the others.
And there were really no characters to root for in Knock at the Cabin.
No, not at all.
I did not feel sorry for any of the horsemen of the apocalypse.
No,
If
literally.
anything, I felt like these people were dumb. And also, it was very, 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 very ambiguous
Very.
whether or not Rupert Grint was the white supremacist or not.
Yeah.
Because they went through his wallet at one point. They're like, see, it's not. His name's not Harry. It's Bert.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that Bert's the white supremacist.
Bert hates people.
And then at the very end, remember they found like his ID like in
Yeah.
the truck. They're like, it was
It's
Bert,
like-
it was Bert Harry Redmond. Oh, and everyone, I swear, everyone in the theater was like, who? Like, was it him or not? Like, it was so
Like, it was these quick glances you get, from his
and they showed
member berries.
and they showed the fight, right? That they talked about in the bar, and like they just showed him like fuzzy,
Yeah.
like, out of focus.
Like, they show, like, maybe this side of his face.
But you saw just like this red like demon dude,
Yeah.
like racial slurring them.
and you're like, okay, it could have been any redheaded dude out there.
Okay, dude. But here's
chose
the
to do
thing:
it.
he sucker punched the guy in like the back. I guess like they did arrest him. Huh?
Yeah.
He did some time. Okay. I don't know.
Still, that was a reach,
But either way, like you didn't care.
Yeah.
Either way,
They're like, okay, get on with it.
no one would have said, yes, go ahead and kill. Like, especially with the evidence presented.
Yeah.
There was
too many holes.
There were too many holes in this story. And
Like good cheese.
and I think like the menu just kept on twisting.
yeah.
It kept because it doesn't start as a horror movie.
No.
This movie starts as a horror movie, and we I hate to say this, but the trailer was better structured than the movie for Knock at the Cabin.
Yeah.
Because it started with you meeting them in the car, them bonding as a family, not introducing them as a bad family.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? They introduced like
They did it Megan style.
yeah. They should have done a Megan style.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
they
I'm saying.
should have kept it. Yeah.
Yeah, and they want to start this movie like Doctor Strange, Doctor Sleep.
Yeah.
They want to start this movie like Doctor
Look,
Sleep.
man, you can't copy greatness.
Yeah, I got some more notes here. Okay.
Tell me more.
Cabin in the Woods. Cabin in the Woods. Exact same premise as this movie.
Yeah.
But the twist was, I'm also going to compare this to T3 Rise of the Machines.
Okay.
Just because both movies had kind of similar endings.
Okay.
Both movies ended with the apocalypse, in which Cabin in the Woods, a very similar scenario happened. A very similar conversation happened
Yes.
at the end, where there was Sigourney Weaver at the end of Cabin in the Woods. You have to sacrifice yourself to save the world. And it doesn't have to, it could be either one of you. One of you guys has to die or something. I think the girl had to survive.
So
in order to stay, we'll work with what we got. This
Yeah.
is it. And then they end up killing her, and then they smoke a joint together at the end of the world, and a giant hand comes out and destroys the planet. That's how Cabin in the Woods
greatness.
ended. T3 Rise of the Machines. The twist is that the world ended.
I never saw that one.
T3 Rise of the Machines ended with John Connor being saved by the Terminator. But the Terminator's mission in that movie was not to prevent Judgment Day.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was not programmed to follow orders in this one. So there were some layers. It wasn't a
Okay.
great movie, but like a lot of film historians agree that it wasn't a great movie, but they really went for it in the ending.
Yeah.
Because in T2, the mission was to protect John Connor.
Yeah.
And then he was able to change his programming. So they changed it to change the future.
Yeah.
Right? In this one, he was not programmed to change the future.
Oh.
He was programmed to just bring them to a safe place. And he did.
Yeah.
He did. And then they thought they were going to change the future. They thought they were going to do everything, but they just went into a bunker. They
Yeah.
just took him to the end.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Judgment Day happened. It ended with Judgment Day happening.
That's crazy.
And everyone died. and then like the fight's just beginning. So it ended with the apocalypse. And then and to me, the twist in Cabin in the Woods was they actually prevented the apocalypse.
Yeah.
But it was such a cheap.
It was very humdrum, just like the whole thing felt like a cop out. It was like writing. It's like, and the thing is, this was adapted from a freaking.
I don't know what it was adapted,
story.
But even I was going to talk about Old in a minute.
Yeah.
Old was adapted from apparently some.
Really, I didn't know that. Still have not watched that movie.
Yeah,
I refuse to.
And in a way, Old he is. I feel like M. Night Shyamalan is regressing. He's not getting better.
No.
And even like The Evil Dead ended with the cabin burning down and the girl preventing the apocalypse. So I guess it's the same thing. And there was a movie that I always say has the worst ending, but in a way, it's not. It's actually the best ending because I hate it so much. The Mist.
I have not seen that movie in so long. I don't think since it came out on VHS or DVD, whenever that was.
In The Mist, there were 4 survivors.
Okay. Yeah.
It was Thomas Jane, his son, and then two like neighbors or strangers or whatever who had just survived the incident. However, as they were driving, the entire planet was decimated by aliens and mist. And everywhere they drove, there were just monsters everywhere, like raptors, big elephants, just driving, eating people. Everyone was dead, and there was like just nowhere to drive anymore.
Yeah.
They ran out of gas, but they had like 4 or 5 bullets left, and they all just looked at each other and like, this is it. We can't do it. And they just a lot of like nods, like the guy pulled.
All right, and then the camera goes out from the car, right?
Yeah, it goes out from the car, and you hear bullet, yeah, 3 bullets.
Yeah.
And then they just cuts to like blood in the car and Thomas Jane screaming, "Ah! What'd I do? Oh!" And he gets out of the car because they only have 3 bullets left.
Yeah.
So he ran out like he's going to get killed by like the mist monsters.
Yeah, right.
So he runs out and he's just like ready for it. And he's like, like he has his hands in the car, like ready to get like raped by these things or something, right?
Yeah.
And then the army comes with their flamethrowers and they're burning like the mist, and the mist clears with the army, with the woman that like he could have saved at the beginning, but like he wanted to save his son first, and it ends like there.
Oh, dude, I don't remember that, but I remember like the stuff right before it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So like it just ends with him like, no!
Yeah.
Because if you just waited like seriously 20 seconds, the mist would have ended.
That's crazy.
But he killed like his son and like the 2 strangers. That's how you end a movie like this.
Yeah, that's an ending.
That's how you end a movie like this.
Learn something.
But going back to like, better movies, like there's a lot of homages that the menu brought up, like even Predator. I was thinking about like Predator.
Really?
At times.
Well, yeah.
Just a bunch of people stuck in like the movie morphs.
Yeah,
because it started off as an action movie.
Yeah,
but ended up as a horror, as like a being hunted.
Yeah, like Battle Royale.
Yeah, and you mentioned Edgar Wright a little earlier. Edgar Wright started, like, as far as I can tell, with Hot Fuzz, like Shaun of the Dead.
Shaun of the Dead. Yes,
Shaun of the Dead, and progressed to Hot Fuzz at World's End, and made Last Night in Soho. He got better at storytelling, and to me, the big twist,
even his nuances changed and just evolved.
Yeah, and the big twist in Last Night in Soho was you were rooting like against the ghosts or for the ghosts or whatever at the end. Like,
it's crazy. I gotta watch that movie again.
Good. And then like last year, Nope.
Yeah, Nope.
I really liked Nope because
that took me 2 watches to appreciate it.
I've actually seen that like 3 or 4 times because I liked it so much.
Oh, wow.
And I walked through the set in Universal Studios.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Jordan Peele is kind of like the reverse, I think. And I think I mentioned a few times of M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes.
Started great, got better, got like really great.
Yeah.
In the end. And I'm excited to see what's going to happen for Jordan Peele in the future. M. Night, I don't know, but
stop it.
But just to slap you from going back to full circle, or why we did these movies together.
Yeah.
Nicholas Hoult in The Menu. Remember we said he made that lamb shank?
You are why the mystery has been drained from our art. You see that now, don't you? Sorry.
Nice.
That's a good
M.
one.
Night Shyamalan. That's what Ralph Fiennes said to Nicholas Hoult when he made a lousy dish.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan, you've made another lousy dish. And
you have.
Are why the mystery has been drained from our art.
Ooh. Yeah, just stop it, M. Night.
Yeah. So and I said,
that was good. I like that.
Yeah. Look at that.
That was this episode. It's so cinematic.
Yeah. Right.
It's writing.
And like I mentioned, Edgar Wright's and Edgar Wright. I mentioned all the movies he made, the progression. Jordan Peele. M. Night Shyamalan started with The Sixth Sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Get it.
Yeah.
You made that guy jizz in his pants.
That's stupid.
You made that guy really happy in that somewhere. But anyway, I'll give you that one. But here's the thing: even about The Sixth Sense, you can't watch it again.
Yeah, because once you know the twist, you're like, why am I going to put myself... There's no reason.
Yeah. To me, M. Night Shyamalan's best movie was Unbreakable.
I'd have to agree.
I liked Unbreakable. I could watch it again. I really liked it. But it was only destroyed by its finale, Glass, which I did not like. I did not like the way that movie ended.
It was just okay. It was okay.
But Signs, okay, that was all right. But then I think no one had any love for The Village.
Yeah, that was a weird one, man.
No one had any love for Lady in the Water.
That one, I could have sworn was a fever dream. I had to watch it.
And if you really want to see Mark Wahlberg make funny faces. Oh, by the way, John Leguizamo was also in The Happening.
He was in The Happening?
Yes.
Wow, I guess that's what's happening.
So John Leguizamo and Anya Taylor-Joy were both M. Night Shyamalan alumnus.
Oh, man.
Man. I remember he was the one who went back to the town. He's like, it's okay. Maybe it won't affect me. I'll be okay. And he walked into the town, and then he immediately sat down and started slitting his wrists.
Yeah, that was
John Leguizamo. And then after The Happening, there was the Last Airbender.
Yep, bending air, all right.
Speaking of which, the guy didn't know how to do the exposures on that movie because from what I hear, it was
never
dark.
even bothered to watch it because why?
And then I got two more whys. After Earth and The Visit.
Two humongous flops.
He made a Will Smith flop. He made Will Smith.
The Visit was just not good.
And then he did the rest of the Unbreakable trilogy, Split and Glass.
Yep.
And then everyone's favorite, Old.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Turn the other way these days, unless the guy really needs to work on it. But you know what? I got two reviews.
Yeah.
Since this is what we do. So let's start by reviewing the menu. So I'll let you go first.
All right, let's do this. So for me, I'm going to have to give this movie an A. I was not ready for this movie. The presentation was tidy and well kept. The characters seemed unrelated, and yet, by the end of it all, they were all one and the same. Just like Dishes, this movie felt entirely original. I couldn't recommend it enough.
Yeah, I agree, and I actually gave it an A also. The menu is a fun piece of suspense horror that keeps the audience at the edge of their seats. The characters and circumstances felt like they belong in a movie. By the end, I was entertained and hungry.
And satisfied.
Dude, I started watching it again. That's when I started noticing the parallels between
I have to watch it. I was watching it with my wife, and she's typically not a fan of these horror movies, and we both didn't anticipate it being a horror movie, and we're watching going, wow, this was really good. We're recommending it to everyone we talk to. Crazy. Nice catch.
Like the Matrix.
Fast cat. Nice hands.
Conversely, we have also seen Knock at the Cabin, which I will give a D. Knock at the Cabin is cliched and boring. The stakes felt forced and unbelievable. There was no fun to be had, especially when we know entertainment horror can always be found in a remote cabin in the woods.
Nice. I'm going to do one less. I'm going to give this one a D-. This movie didn't get an outright F only because I wanted to be kind to the people who were just doing their job for M. Night. M. Night just needs to stop. His twists are as bad as two-day-old pretzels adorned with turds. This movie has a bland story, no character arcs that were redeemable, and I could care less what happened to literally everyone. Does that make me a sociopath or just not a fan of M. Night? Maybe if I keep watching movies like this, his movies, I might turn into the former.
Yeah, and
God, if he isn't one already.
And this movie wasn't as bad as the worst movies we've seen. This movie wasn't as bad as Pinocchio, Disney's Pinocchio. Which I still is probably going to say was the worst movie we've probably ever seen.
Yeah.
Because at least Knock at the Cabin had.
What was that one we saw that Nick Cage, the Ghosts of the Wasteland? Prisoners
of the Ghostland.
Of the Ghostland. That movie was better than this.
You know, I'm only saying this because I probably never, ever, ever, ever see Prisoners of the Ghostland again.
Yeah.
I have fond memories of Prisoners of the
You know,
Ghost
I do
Island.
too. I do too,
I
man.
have fond memories of seeing Nicolas Cage like
Lose a testicle.
that happened in that movie.
That did happen in that movie.
That happened in that
He had an
movie.
explosive suit on.
And a testicle just casually fell
Yeah.
out. Like when Charlie Sheen kicked a man in the balls in Hot Shots Part 2, a testicle calmly fell out of his pants.
Yeah. Yeah, see, you're remembering things. It was, for what I've been trying to move over to, and I think we touched base on this when we're reviewing the movies, is I'm trying not to take notes while I watch these things.
Actually, I don't either.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be in the moment, really feel what's going on, and then like a day or two later go by memory alone to try to get the emotions going. Let me tell you, I've never had a more difficult time trying to recall a movie than Knock at the Cabin Door, or whatever the hell this movie's called.
Knock at the Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin.
Well,
Even the title, I cannot seem to remember, and it's written in front of me.
I say watch the Twilight Zone. Just catch up on it.
Yeah.
Because you'll see the twist. And you know what's actually funny now that I even think about it? I didn't think about this actually, but Jordan Peele actually hosted the new Twilight Zone. So he
Really?
came back and did that. So
I don't remember that at all.
and the other thing is M. Night also he cameos in all his movies.
He does.
Much like but see, here's the thing, unlike Rod Serling in the Tonight Show, in the Twilight Zone, he narrates at the end, he kind of belongs there. Look at this. They thought they could enjoy a meal at this remote restaurant, but they ended up being part of the menu themselves. I guess the taste of the burger is sweetest in the Twilight Zone.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
Or in at the end of Knock at the Cabin, they left and they thought that they would have an entertaining vacation in the cabin in the woods. But what they ended up finding was despair and the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, apparently.
What was the lesson?
One bullet for
What was
dessert.
the lesson to be learned
That's the thing, I don't know.
in Knock at the
I
Cabin?
couldn't take anything.
What would Rod Serling say at the end of this? If the four people come and want you to kill one of your family, well, you should let them, because this is the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. They said they're not going to harm you. Get up and walk away.
Yeah, just walk away. Or wait, they're killing
Or
themselves.
sit and have a sandwich. I don't know.
Or seriously do like a Jim Carrey, la 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 la
Yeah.
la 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 la
The entire time.
Yeah, because they're obviously killing themselves.
Yeah.
They're killing themselves,
And they're not attacking you.
and for all you know, them killing themselves is what's causing the apocalypse. And that's
Yeah.
what it looked like when it happened. But anyway, that has been our hot take for Knock at the Cabin and the menu.
Yes.
Remember to like, share, subscribe. Check us out wherever you can. We are on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere else you can find us, because we are around. I'm your host, Mark Rubalcaba, joined once again by Mr. Ale Panetta on Clubhouse Movies Podcast. We will catch you
Next time.
Shut up and take my money.